What's up, everybody? This is Danny, and today I have Marco with me to unbox the brand new Apple Watch. And this is a really funny story, actually, because I ordered both of them, the Steel and the Sport version, about 5 minutes apart, and I only got the Sport. So I don't know what is going on there, and he ordered his before me, and he has no watches. None of them. Apple sucks. It doesn't make any sense what's going on. This pre-order stuff is really crazy. But I have the 38mm Sport right here. We're going to unbox this and see if it's actually worth the money. So I'm not sure if I'm a fan of this packaging or not. I mean, what does this look like?
Toothbrush.
It does. It's undeniably, it looks like a toothbrush box. It looks kind of silly, actually. Now the Steel box actually looks different than this. It actually looks more like a watch box.
You know what this reminds me of? The Beats Pill box.
Beats Pill. I mean,
they probably just, refreshed or refurbished all the boxes they have and use this.
And it's true, but it comes in some plastic here. We're going to go ahead and rip this off. All right. I mean, it's like a nice, smooth finish there. Not bad. Okay, so we're just going to lift the top of this. And damn, it takes a while. Okay, there we go. And some pull tabs here. And this is a plastic box. What do you think about that?
Same material as the AirPods box. Or iPod, like when you bought an iPod or iPod Touch or any of the iPhone 5C boxes. Same material.
Yeah, kind of looks like that, doesn't it? Okay. So you get a sleeve here.
Yep.
And let's see what we get in here. All right. So you get some pretty much directions on how to use the Apple Watch. You're probably gonna need a lot more than this because we actually took a look at this in a prior video, and I'll link that down below that you can see that we got to go try it on and look at a bunch of different bands and stuff. And the UI is actually kind of complicated, to be honest, but it comes with another watch
yellow,
band.
Man. That looks really yellow.
Yeah, and this is with the white band, and this does look kind of yellow, doesn't it? But this is
white.
But this is the larger band, just in case you need a larger band. It's swappable. So if that's too small for you, what's actually installed, then you can change that. That's really it. You just get a bunch of Apple Watch info. Nobody's going to read that at all. And then you get the same kind of power brick that you get, with an iPhone. It's exactly the same thing. What's the wattage on this?
Looks like
1 amp. It's a 1 amp, 5 volts, exactly the same thing.
As an iPhone, yeah.
And then you get the magnetic charging dock here, or the charger. And this one is plastic versus the metal one that you get on the,
It's like a Thomas pill or something.
I mean, it comes wrapped here in some plastic. Wow, this is kind of hard to get off of there. Good Lord. All right. But yeah, this looks significantly cheaper than the steel one. Yeah, so you're definitely going to get what you pay for here because this looks kind of cheap. And I mean, all across this packaging is really, really simple, but you can tell.
It's nice, though. It's not bad. It's elegant.
Yeah.
For $400, $350 for whatever you spend.
350 balla, that is correct. I mean, really. I mean, if you don't know, compared to Android Wear watches, this is fairly expensive, is it not? I mean, 350.
It's better than Android Wear boxes, yeah.
Yeah, but still, $350 compared to Android Wear watches that cost $200. But
right.
I mean, this is typically the packaging that we would see in an Apple product. So let's put this to the side here. All right. Let's see. So this comes with the little pull tab here.
Yep.
Okay.
Apple's been doing that so much now.
So pull this tab out and, so it's got a little Apple logo there.
That's kind of nice.
That's not bad.
It's going to stretch like crazy, but I'm really interested. The Apple Watch Steel has a different box, huh?
It does. It has like a square box to it. So let's go ahead and pop this one open here. Oh, there we go. And it says Sport here. Actually, it's soft there. Like a soft material, velvet material. Okay, so there we go.
That's tiny.
Dude, that is small.
Yeah.
I mean, this is tiny. I don't know. This is going to be very difficult. 38mm is going to be very difficult for a male to wear. At least I think so anyway. But yeah, there we go. We're going to pull the tab here. And actually, it's a little
nice, man.
It does, man. It actually does, doesn't it? Okay, so really, this actually is a lot heavier than I thought it would be. I mean, feel that.
That's weighty.
Yeah.
Mainly it's because of the ceramic, though, isn't it? It has that little ceramic tile or ceramic thing right on the back of here. but it's definitely weighty. It's not the band, I know that for sure. And the aluminum's pretty light, but yeah, it feels nice. Feels really nice.
Yeah, I mean, first impression, really, I mean, build quality wise, this thing actually looks, I mean, this is higher quality than you would expect, right, out of a
Yeah.
sport watch, actually.
Yeah, I mean, like, put this against that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at the Moto 360, I mean, that just goes to show you how small the 38 millimeter is
Yeah.
versus a regular Android Wear smartwatch. I mean, look at how
Which
tiny
one
that
feels
is.
more premium? And this is stainless steel. Like, the case on this is stainless steel, and on the back, it's kind of like a, I don't know, like a, it's not Kevlar, but it's weird.
Yeah, like a,
So this is not like a cheap watch. I mean, it's $250, but to you, what do you think? Is this one better, or is that one better in the
I mean,
hands?
this actually feels more premium. I mean, to me, actually. I mean,
And
look,
technically, this is actually more premium because this is stainless steel, that's aluminum, and this is what, Gorilla Glass, and that's
this is Ion X glass, right? This is the same glass that's in the iPhone 6.
Right.
And this is probably going to be prone to some scratches where on the steel version, it's
Right.
going to have a it's going to have a sapphire display. It's going to be much better for scratches.
And that's really the big comparison between this guy and the steel one. It's going to be this guy versus the steel and not the aluminum, but in price range, this one beats both of them.
Yeah, so I mean, impressed so far with the actual build quality. So looking at the band that came on here, it's a small medium, and on my wrist, I don't think this is really going to work, but it's really easy to change out this band. All you have to do is hit this button right here, and it actually slides right out of there. And it's kind of cool because it's got three different, I mean, I don't know if this is magnetic or not, but it looks like it just latches on here right in the middle, and that's
Right.
it. And actually there is a service port right here, which is kind of cool. There's a service port in there, I guess, so if they need to run some diagnostics, it's there. And it actually has your model number and everything in here. But if to switch out this band, I need to put the larger band on. This is the medium large band. All you need to do is just put that right in there, and it clicks in, and that's it. Like, super easy to change the band.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's pretty awesome. But, you know, if the bands weren't like a ridiculous amount of money, then we'd be all right. Because I think the bands, to be honest, I think some of them run all the way up to like, what, $450 or something like that? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty
crazy.
expensive.
I'm not sure about this material quite yet. I think this is called Flora Elastomer. It's some kind of,
Dude,
it's some type of, I don't know. What would you call that?
like a rubber polyester
Yeah,
type of material.
and it's really soft though. It's really soft, and it's a weird
But
way
it
that this
feels
band
like
goes
it's
on.
going to be stain resistant, though. I don't think it's going to stain easily because it almost feels like it has a coating on top of the rubber to give it, like, it feels like you have cornstarch on it, if you know what that feels like.
Yeah, and
It's like weird. It's softer. Okay, for example, if anyone's ever bought an HTC phone, have you ever felt like the
cornstarch bag, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like it's actually gonna stain at all.
But you know what? I can see this being good though. I mean, it's obviously a sport band for a reason because
Yeah.
if you're running or if you're sweating or something, this is easily cleanable. And the Apple Watch is water resistant, from what I know. There's been a lot of tests about it being actually waterproof, but I'm not sure if they ever certified as waterproof. But I think it's definitely water resistant for
Yeah.
sure. But I mean, first impressions of the watch it actually feels pretty significant on the wrist. Like the point is that it's not too bulky. I don't feel like it's too bulky on the wrist at all. And all your sensors are here on the back. It does kind of protrude out, but I didn't feel that on my wrist just now. But you have your heart rate sensor here on the back, and you have your magnetic charging port that's going to be able to charge right there. And from what I know, they said that it's actually capable of doing blood oxygen, but it's just not. It's
How?
just, I don't know, but they said it's capable of doing it, but it's not enabled quite yet. I mean, let's go over a little bit about the watch and you know what's on there. So we got to play around with this a little bit before, but on the right side you have your digital crown. This is what you're going to use to navigate through the whole experience. That's how you're gonna zoom, that's how you're gonna go through the different menus. And it's actually a button too, so you can click, double click, and you can actually long click on that to give you all kinds of different functions. And then the bottom is more of a like a quick set button, but this is how you're gonna start
Contacts and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's gonna have a few different features. I hope that they add more features. I mean, right now it's one click if you want to go to your quick contact friends, two
Yeah.
clicks if you want to go into Apple Pay.
Yeah, and then this is how you turn on your Apple Watch too as well. If you hold that on, you turn that on. On the other side, there's a microphone and there's also a speaker, so you can take phone calls on this thing. So I wonder how
these
ridiculous.
are two pill-shaped speakers here. That's the microphone. It's a little strange. I mean, but it's pointed the right way because if you're wearing it on your left wrist, speaker's pointed towards you. The microphone's pointed towards you. On your right wrist, it's not so much.
Yeah, so I guess it kind of depends on where you have it, but I wonder how stupid people are going to look talking on their phones because, normally you could probably sit here and just talk like this. But how many people are going to be walking around like this, like talking on their phone and looking, or on their watch looking really dumb?
James Bond.
The display is, I'm not quite sure exactly what size the 38 millimeter is, but I know that this is the first AMOLED display that Apple has ever used. And it makes perfect sense on a watch because of the blacks, battery life, because this thing only has
visibility.
Yeah, this thing only has slightly above a 200 milliamp hour battery. That is
Right.
really small. So I'm really
Having
curious.
a backlight. Well, yeah, I mean, having a backlight would be more energy. It would use more energy. Plus, it'll also add thickness to this thing.
Plus, I mean, you're going to get the nice saturation and pop from it and the brightness from an AMOLED display. So I think they went the right direction on the actual display itself. And it's got a kind of a curve on the glass too, which is kind of nice.
Edges.
Yeah, on the edges. So you're going to get maybe the same type of feeling that you get on an iPhone 6 or 6 Plus. You're going to get that same kind of swipe, that satisfaction when you're kind of swiping in between. So, I mean, I think primitively looking at it, some people might think that this is not a great design. And maybe we thought that too when we looked at it at first, because it's a blocky looking design. It's not something. It's not something that Apple would blow you away with. But actually, looking at it now, in person, I think it actually makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it looks nice.
Yeah.
In person, it looks so much better than it does on any of the photos, especially the aluminum. I really do like the sport. I'm starting to consider whether I should actually keep my my steel now, because I'm afraid of the scratches. I really don't like that.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that I'm definitely going to cover is between the two watches, which one is going to be the one for you, really? Because, I mean, the Apple Watch is significantly more expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, between $350 and $400. I mean, depending on the band you want, you're going into $700 range, and
That's
metal.
How much, yeah, that's how much. I mean, I ordered the Space Gray and 42 millimeter sport band, and I also ordered the black loop, and that was $699.
Yeah, so
that's a lot of money,
$700, man, is a lot of money for a watch.
Compared to $399. That's how much the sport one was. So.
I mean, especially when you can buy an Android Wear watch for $200 to $300, because the Urbane's coming out very soon, which is a premium watch. So, I mean, I'll be getting one of those very soon, so stay tuned for that and do some comparisons. But, Android Wear is different software, and this seems to be more full-featured, I guess, than an Android Wear right now. So we're going to have to look at the software and kind of see. I need to use this for at least a couple of days to at least a week to get just to get a feel of how this is going to be. I mean, how is the extra functionality going to actually be better for the watch experience? I mean, do you really need that much? I mean, do you really need that much in a watch? I mean, you're trying to get notifications and you're trying to get quick glimpses of stuff. But I mean, having full-featured apps on this, I mean, are you going to be playing with this watch a lot more and trying to get into different apps?
Yeah, right. Well, I think a lot of people have been talking about these are streamed applications right now. They're not actually on here yet. Later this year they will be, but it really depends on how your iPhone's linked up to it. We'll see how that works, really.
Because that's pretty much the biggest source of the lag, from what I'm hearing, is when you're hitting certain things, it has to load first. So even messages are loading, your emails loading. So I think that's the biggest source of performance right now that people are talking about. It's kind of slow at this point. So until they can get things going, so we'll have to see what the evolution of this watch is going to be, because right now in this experience, it's probably not how they wanted to put it out. I feel like it's maybe a little bit rushed. And that's the problem with this whole production system too. Is why is this watch so hard to get right now?
Yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't be this hard. You should not have to wait till June to get it shipped. Doesn't make any sense to me. If you go to a store right now, you're going to be able to try on this watch, and they're going to go, well, yeah, you can have that, but you can have it in June.
Right.
And I mean, how many people are going to actually know that that's what's going to happen to you when you go into a store to buy this watch?
They probably think they could go pick it up now.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Anyway, we should probably turn it on.
Yeah, let's turn it on. So when you first boot it up, you're going to get your languages right away. And this is how you use your crown. You can see the crown, and the crown is very smooth, by the way. It's extremely smooth. And actually, you know what? This production version here feels like it's got a little bit more resistance to it. I mean, feel this. It really, because remember how you felt like it was a little bit too loose?
Yeah, it feels more resistant.
Right? A little bit.
Still, I mean, yeah, I like it now. It's weighted. It feels like it has more resistance on it, yeah.
Just open up your Apple Watch app that's on your iPhone and hit start pairing. Make sure your Bluetooth is on. And then all you do is you have to hover this over this image here. Align it with the viewfinder. There we go. And the Apple Watch is paired. That's kind of cool.
It's pretty sweet.
That's kind of awesome. Okay, your Apple Watch is paired.
Oh,
Wow, look at that. That's sweet, man. Look at that.
It tells you what you have, too.
So it tells you your exact series, that's pretty damn awesome. That's pretty cool. Okay, so set up the Apple Watch.
Apple fanboy.
Okay, so the left, I'm going to be wearing it on the left. Okay, so terms and conditions, we have to agree to this, right? We don't have no choice. So agree. Okay, there we go. Why can't you do this with Touch ID? That's kind of stupid.
I was wondering the same thing on why can't, like, when you log in to do your check your Apple orders on your iPhone, why can't we just use Touch ID as a password instead of your my long ass Apple thing?
It doesn't make any sense.
Anyway.
Okay, so you're gonna go through a bunch of stuff. You want to use Siri? Yes. You know, I don't care about your diagnostics, and I got to create a code for the.
Or you can't. You don't have to.
Okay, don't add the passcode. Let's go past that. Install available apps.
Yes.
Yeah, install all of them. And the Apple Watch is syncing.
So this is the waiting part.
Now that the Apple Watch is all synced up and I've had about 24 hours to play with this thing, the one thing that I want to say is that there is definitely a learning curve to the user interface of the Apple Watch. For that reason, I've been doing nothing but playing with this thing, and I'm finding out new stuff all the time. So I'm going to make a video on some of the top things that I've learned about the Apple Watch that are not so apparent when you first turn this thing on. So make sure you look out for that. I'm really curious how the Apple Watch is going to integrate into my life, especially with the fitness stuff. I know there's a lot of fitness apps on here, so I'm going to be trying those out, and I want to see how this actually works as a dedicated fitness tracker. I want to give you my quick first impressions though. The display is absolutely gorgeous. It's really sharp, it's vibrant, it's really bright as well, and it's a pleasure to use. I really like the display, and the Taptic engine is absolutely incredible. It just feels like somebody's kind of tapping you right on your wrist, and it's not obnoxious or anything, and it's really, really great. Force touch works extremely well, and the screen sensitivity is very nice, so I don't think you'll be disappointed in that aspect of it at all. And you can take phone calls on this thing, but the speaker quality and the volume is not so great. It's pretty hard to hear if you're not in a quiet room. The thing that works surprisingly well is the voice dictation or Siri on there, and the microphone works pretty good. Now, the software is a little bit buggy sometimes, so you may run into that, but it does a very good job of voice dictation, and it gets it right most of the time. Even though Android Wear watches are pretty full-featured, it's pretty amazing what you can do with this watch. I mean, even with the Amazon app, it's pretty crazy what you can do. Now, you will see it hang up like that because they're not really native apps yet. They have to be streamed from the iPhone itself, so it depends on the connectivity. So sometimes it can be a little bit slow, but it's pretty cool what you can do here, and you'll be surprised how many apps are already compatible with the Apple Watch. You can even play games on this thing, so as time goes on, there's going to be a lot more apps. So there's going to be a ton of more coverage on the Apple Watch. Let me know specifically what you want to see, and make sure you're subscribed if you want to see more Apple Watch stuff. And give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this style of video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.